Hello guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video. I had a few days off because I was at a good friend's stag do, so apologies about that. But I'm back wearing this beautiful shirt, which I'll touch on in a bit. But today we're going to be looking at some transfer news as ever. But before I know what I say, thank you to the wonderful people as ever for supporting my channel. A wonderful app, a fantastic app. It's been keeping me up to date. My throat's a bit sore, as you can tell, because I drank quite a lot at the weekend, being as a stag do, but that was still getting notifications through my phone, even when I was in the middle of the countryside somewhere, let me know about the transfer news. So thank you, OneFootball. Go and download it. It's really good, I promise you. What are you waiting for? My favourite app on the market. Go and download it right this second. And also, want to say thank you to a few patrons, these absolute heroes who help keeping this channel go. Laura Edgar, and I'm so sorry, mate, I'm going to get this so wrong. Shreyans Kandalwal and Pranay Lakshman. I'm very bad with names, so if I offended you, I apologise. I'm just bad with names, but thank you for supporting the channel. Patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany if you want to get involved. But let's get into the video. Before I jump into the transfers, though, the kits, it's alright, isn't it? I went down to the City store today. They've decorated it all up in the PUMA gear. I went to get the home shirt for footy.com. I put a link here. Go and watch that, by the way. I reviewed the home shirt over at my day job's work channel where I review football shirts. Go and watch that. It's really good, I promise you. And this will be coming on Wednesday as well, the review of this shirt. But when I was there, I had to pick up this. And do you know what? I really like this shirt. It's grown on me quite a lot. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. I even like this little kind of patching here. And we've got this slight one, which is dulled out. But I actually even like the colours. I think they're really nice. And I think it's a good solid shirt. You know, it's fun. It's always one I like to get every year. And this is the one this year. And the home one, it's not too bad. I'm wearing that in that video I've just linked to there. Go and give that. Let me know in the comments below which one you prefer of the two. But yeah, I think it's a pretty decent little shirt, isn't it? You know, it's not bad at all, truth be told. And I can't really complain. I think on the pitch, Sane and Aguero scoring goals in this, and Sterling and that lot, they're going to look absolutely amazing. And one guy who could look amazing one day, if we ever see a Manchester City shirt, it's a new name, a guy I've never heard of, Felix Correia. Basically, today out of nowhere, this kind of escalated quite strongly. It's not the Portuguese Felix that we wanted, or some of us wanted, but it's another one that we're apparently we've signed, you know, according to some rumours. No, we won't really announce this because this is one of those youth team signings that we don't really kind of put on the main mancity.com because I think it's like a City Football Group signing. I think we were burned by announcing Marlos Moreno a while back. He went on loan and disappeared forever. So I think since that backfired, we don't bother doing that anymore. But Felix Correia, what do we know about him? He's an 18-year-old Sporting Lisbon winger. We know that Juventus and Barcelona have been chasing for his signature, and he's highly rated at Portuguese youth level. Lots of Sporting Lisbon fans have been beating down the club's door saying, you should be playing this lad. You should get him around the first team because he's nearly ready. I didn't know. I'd never heard of him before. Most of us haven't because, you know, he's just a youth team player in Sporting. But what I watched of him online, he looks decent. I can't say he blew me away or anything like that. And I think if he was like a world-class talent, he'd have been the first team by now. But what I did see of him was a very skillful winger, a guy who loves to beat people, a guy who can play pass, a guy who can score goals. And he reminded me, and the title of the video was this, but he actually reminded me anyway of Nani a little bit, the guy who used to play for United, who was obviously a very talented player, but never could quite channel his ability into what he needed to be to reach the very highest levels of the game. But even if you end up at Nani level, we'd still make a little bit of money off him, even if he wasn't like useful for a squad player for a bit. But Felix Correia, it looks like it's going to happen. The rumours were that it's going to be around, eventually, if installments are reached, only 3.14 million, which is nothing really. It's nothing at all. He's one of those kind of speculative punts where his contract was pretty much up, so City kind of just nipped in and got him on the cheap. And we all send him on loan somewhere, maybe to Girona in the second division. Is that right? Or whatever, the second division of Spanish football. Maybe he'll go to one of our other loan partnerships. But either way, I think he's definitely going to go out on loan and see what he can do. He's already been spotted at the airport in Lisbon to fly over to Manchester. There's a photo of him, which is on screen somewhere right now. Presumably I've edited it in. Hopefully I didn't forget. But it looks like he's a go with this one. I quite like these little signings. They're low risk, you know. We get him in. And if they turn out to be something special, great. If they don't, no one really cares. Absolutely no harm done whatsoever. Carrera could be a Manchester City player. I think he likely is a Manchester City player. Everything seems to point towards the fact that he's a Manchester City player. Just hope he's actually pretty good, you know? I don't mind these little signings, as I said. They're not really one for Guardiola in the short term, I think. So let's not get our hopes up. I expect to see him anytime soon. But if so, welcome to the club, Felix Correia. Not the Felix that most have wanted, but I'm sure you're very talented and very interesting. On to Angelino. According to Rick Elmfrick, who's a very allegedly reliable PSV journalist. Angelino is now on his way to Manchester City to complete his transfer. I'm pretty certain Angelino was on his way to Manchester City to complete his transfer about a week or two ago. But having said that, he's not been in training with PSV, and they expect this to happen. I think, according to Rick Elfring, once again, he's actually on a plane. That was like 3 hours ago, and he tweeted that. So surely, I've been from the Netherlands recently on a plane. It's a very short flight, so surely he may be actually in Manchester, As I said before, videos, I really like the idea of this signing. It makes me happy. It's interesting. It's exciting. It's a little bit fresh, a little bit different. I want to see Angelino in this kit, bombing down the left wing, showing how good he is at getting forward. I think he gives his options. I think it's exciting because he's club trained. I think it validates our youth system and our proposal and the way that we send players out on loan and then we sell them with a buyback clause. All these boxes are ticked, and I think it's exciting. I think it's interesting. I think there's a bit of romanticism about it. I think it's a very novel signing, and I like it. Hopefully he does actually come back to Manchester City because it's just a fun transfer. I always rated him. I always said he'd go at the top, and I'm quite happy to be proven potentially very right. He's back at a major club again, presuming there's no hitches. But it's very quiet on the PSV front with Angelino. He's not been around the club at all, and it's all but done allegedly. Now the transfer fee, according to some, is actually €12 million. I think the mix-up had been based around what PSV actually have to pay, so like in terms of the transfer from last summer. So maybe they're going to ride that off, and I guess it's something like that total, but City will only pay half of that 12 million because of the cancelling off of the whatever, of the fee or something like that. But it looks like it's going to happen, this one, doesn't it? Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is a good move. Get him back at Manchester City, get him filling a club-trained and homegrown quota, and get him as a bombarding left wing-back to actually offer some options. And he's got the intelligence to play not just at left-back, also in midfield as a winger, or maybe even, just be an option across the pitch because he's such a good footballer. He's intelligent, he's hard-working, and I really like this as well. One of our lads as well, or two of our lads, Jack Harris went on loan at Leeds. Not much to say about that. Signed a contract and went there. But the one I actually wanted to talk about mainly was a lad I got a lot of time for in general. Matt Smith, the lad, the young Welsh midfielder now, actually. He's only a young lad. He's only like 19, 20 now. I can't remember exactly how old. He's from around 1920. He was on loan at FC Twente last year. Obviously the second tier Dutch football. But he was fantastic to the point where he got his own song, playing in a competitive league. He got Twente up into the Eredivisie. He was fantastic. They really loved him with his tenacity and his work rate. And more than that, he's such an intelligent player. He's such a good user of the ball. I watched him play for Wales. And he slotted in exactly like a Manchester City player would slot in, just very calm in possession, right where he needs to be, right where he needs to be when he needs to be, giving and receiving the ball, that kind of stuff, with some lovely diagonal passes. And he's gone to QPR. Now, apparently they don't play great football. I don't know what Mark Wahlberg is going to do there, but he wanted a young, intelligent squad, and he's been absolutely effusing about Matt Smith's capabilities, and rightfully so. Now, obviously, a lot of people said maybe he should have stayed in the Eredivisie for a year, there's some validity to that, but I think the Championship is actually a step up for him. I think what he learned over in the Eredivisie, the second tier of Dutch football, is that he could play it amongst men. The Eredivisie is not known for being a physical league. It's not known for being a defensively astute league either, and that's not unfair. It's just genuinely true. It's known, though, for being a home of very exciting technical footballers, but I don't think Matt Smith actually needs that anymore. He's more than good enough technically. He's a Manchester City youth product who played in the same team as like Foden and Sancho and all that lot, and he never looked out of place at all. Very comfortable technically. What he actually needs now is to prove that he can handle this just rough and tumble, this minglingness of football, and the Eredivisie doesn't usually actually teach you that. It doesn't, I actually maintain a player that excels in the Eredivisie won't get as many look-ins as the player excels in the Championship in terms of this loan route. I think the Championship will actually teach him. He'll finish him off potentially. In terms of it'll be like a finishing school for him if he actually plays regularly and does well for QPR. I think his profile will absolutely rocket, and he'll be a guaranteed Premier League player after showing that he can do it for Wales, after showing he can do it overseas, and then showing he can do it in the Championship as well. Basically, they'll look at him and go, not only is he a very good footballer, he's tough. He's played in the Championship. He handles 70,000 people at for Wales in front of Millennium Stadium. I forgot what it's called. He's also got a team promoted on the Eredivisie. He can stand up technically over in the Netherlands. Basically, he's ticked all the boxes there. So for me, I would love it. Matt Smith actually once donated to a charity shirt auction that I did on Twitter, like £100, and he was only a young lad, like a year and a half ago, something like that. So that shows the quality he's got. He did it anonymously as well. He didn't ask me to mention it, but I thought I'd mention it because he's such a nice guy, and that's the kind of qualities I like in a human. And a footballer, most likely. So Matt Smith, I hope he does very well. He's a dark horse for me, one that could do very well at Manchester City Football Club one day. You never know with Finadino Asian. You never know how well he could do at QPR on loan. Fingers crossed he actually makes it, because I've got a lot of time for the lad. A real dark horse of a player. Other than that, Rodri, apparently he might be having some food tomorrow in Manchester. He's getting close, allegedly, but we don't really know much about that. There's some other little rumours knocking about, but nothing overly substantial. But yes, guys, what do you make of all those rumours? Do you know anything about Felix Correia? Most of us don't, admittedly. What do you make of the Angelino news? Jack Harrison obviously signed a contract, got another year at Leeds, could be sold in a year. The Massive going on loan as well to QPR. And who do you think is next in through the door? Manchester City. Well, I say next, I say first in through the door, I guess. And what do you make of these kits as well? Go and check out that video I did for footy.com where I reviewed the home shirt. It's really good, I promise you. Go download One Football. And as ever, that's what I say thank you. Thank you to these guys here. These absolute heroes. These help keep this channel going. Patreon.com/Esteemed Kompany if you want to shout out, want your name, the credits, all that kind of stuff. And there'll be more videos coming up in the next few days. I go away on Thursday until like Sunday, just a holiday with a couple of friends. So there'll be a bit of a lull then. But in general, there should be content pretty regularly over the next month or two. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I will see you soon in a bit.